Going live now. We're going live now. Hi guys, welcome to this Eesti Laul live stream, which is both simultaneously early and also late at the same time because we scheduled it for the time that it said on the Eurovision World calendar, but the Estonia decided to finish about half an hour early, so we didn't actually get the opportunity to record, to be in this live or start it to see our live reaction. So sadly, you don't get another Angelina Mango moment, guys. We hope they come around once. Spoiler: I didn't react the same way for this result, but I digress. I'm sure people will come in slightly now because again. We've started earlier than expected based on the time, but hopefully we'll get some people in now. But anyway, I'm joined by Dylan. How are you, Dylan?
Great, and you?
I'm great. Chaotic moods, trying to get everything quickly set up because of Estonia. Why are you early? Why are you early, Estonia? What's wrong with you? But like like every other national final is probably going to be late today, but who knows? I mean, Denmark's probably revealing during this live stream, but I digress. But anyway, let's go on to the main talking points because Estonia has just finished their national final. Eesti Laul has concluded, and we have the winners. And Dylan, I'm definitely not just saying this because of the title of the song, but can you please tell us who has won Eesti Laul this year?
So this year, Estonia's representative will be Wisminust ja Pulup, and they will be going to MALMÖ with their crazy song about some addiction. So I think it's safe to say that they crush the televote to get there. And well, congratulations to them, actually, and congratulations to Estonia. This is also funny because it's the first song in Estonian language, I think, for a decade.
Since 2000, yeah, since 2013, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's back to basics for Estonia. Some crazy Estonian song.
I would argue that this is not back to basics. This is not back to basics at all. In terms of the name, I will give it one pronunciation try, and then I won't try again. So, Estonia being represented by the song Nendes Nakut Kiti Midest Iti Mi Kul Midagi. Yes.
Perfect. Yes.
I mean, I've got to pronounce that for the podcast later as well.
So, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure that's close enough. Let's hear to some of the comments here. They're slowly pouring in. I'm sure some people are watching other national finals, Lithuania and Denmark, still going on. Melfest has just concluded, to be fair, so you've not got that excuse, guys. But let's see who is in the chat. So yeah, Breadmasker, Fivmanusk won. They did. Emily Freeman is buzzing by this result. Alessia, the Regal Ollie, robbed for the second time. We will come on to Ollie. And FF. Ooh, yeah. I am so happy. I'm assuming that's what you were going for. If not, I've added to your joke. I've added to your comment, FF. But so, Dylan, obviously you gave a brief summary of the song itself. What are your overall thoughts about Fivminutsk and Pulup going on to MALMÖ?
Well, I think it's interesting as a choice. It wasn't my favorite. But I understand why it's very popular. I think it's also a good choice anyway. It's funny, it's catchy. The band on stage has a real presence, so it gives some extra interest, attraction to the song. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them in live in MALMÖ. I think they will qualify for the final. To be honest, they are in semi 2.
Yeah.
So they should manage to get out of this semi, I think.
Yeah, I feel like my thoughts on this song aside, while I was excited for Eesti Laul tonight, I was a bit like, wait, it's a bit of an anticlimactic final because unless Fivminutsk don't do well with the jury and they completely tank them, there's no way that this is not winning just because of their popularity in Estonia and also the fact it's a solid, good song. I grew to love this personally. I didn't get it at first, but then I listened to it more. I was like, yeah, I see the quality here. What's weird is it feels like, I think to Western ears, this will potentially feel like a novelty act or people that aren't used to Estonian music. But I feel this is it's not necessarily a serious song in the sense of like a ballad. They're not sending a leaker again, but I don't think it's a joke entry. This is Fiibmanutska are a very popular band in Estonia. This is the style of music they send. This is what's popular in Estonia right now. So I appreciate that. It's only a joke act in the sense that it's not what you're used to hearing. It's got that element linked. Other than that, I think this is very quality. Estonia, I feel, are on a really, really good hot streak at the moment now. If you take into Stefan, Alika, and then this, they're on the upward trajectory here. So I'm very happy to see them send this. It was very much expected. There was no, I don't think there was any doubt. But a very good entry, very, very lively performance. The crowd loved it. I will say, and I'm going to sound like a bit of a pain here, the crowd could have stopped whooping for like 5 seconds. That I'm just saying. Like at some point, I do want to hear them sing. You know, like. But yeah,
Wasn't the best for tonight, Eesti Laul. Maybe they should have had something like in the Eurovision when you can't really hear the crowd anymore, just to forgive them the acts. Because yes, indeed, we could hear a lot of young people craving for their favorite singers. But yeah, as you said, I think the song is nice. It's not a joke. I wouldn't qualify it as a joke, but rather as a fun entry, because as you said, it's something that is at the moment peaking in the Estonian charts. So Estonia just want to be represented by what they have in the musical industry at the moment, and I think it's very nice from them. They are not trying to overplay it. They are just sending whatever they have home and whatever works home. Let's see if this works with the Eurovision audience in general.
Well, one thing that might be beneficial is the fact that this did end up doing actually quite well with the international jury. I know it got last in a couple juries, but it did come third. You know, comparatively, that's good at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm really intrigued. I'm of a similar line to you. I don't believe that this. We'll get on to, I think, more grand scheme predictions later, but I don't believe that this will have any issues qualifying. Potential closer of semi-final 2, I would argue. But yeah, I'm really intrigued. I'm fascinated by this one. While it was an expected result, it's one I am not mad by. Let's go on to some of the comments. Beat Gaming said, I guess it was most likely result given the acts in the super final. I believe they did say that this got 60% of the vote. To be fair, getting 60% of the televote does not guarantee you win your national final. Look at San Remo last week. Thank you, radio, and thank you, juries. I very much appreciate you. If you haven't seen it, look, my Angelina Mango reaction from last week, and you'll know why. Bubble Pirate with some thoughts on Moldova. They obviously revealed their act about 20 minutes before they did. I would need to hear it in full. I've heard a snippet of it, but I need to hear it before. Bubble Pirate, just to clarify, you probably figured it out by now, but it's a Fiibmanutska with a track I'm not going to try and pronounce again. I've done it once, I tell you. I will not do it again. Adam, lovely to see you in the chat. Is Estonia the country with the most momentum at the moment? They've been killing it lately. You can make the case for that. Absolutely. I would potentially say, if you don't include, I don't know, you could put Finland in that argument, despite what they sent this year. Yeah, it's you can make the case for it. I need to think of other countries. I think off the top of my head to say otherwise. FF saying Estonia is back at Eurovision after 11 years. That's a bit harsh on some of their entries. Oh, as in the language. I thought you meant Estonia. I thought you meant their past 11 years Estonia's not been good. I was like, they've had some good entries, but I get what you mean. This is an interesting point from FF though. I'm Dutch, and this will probably go in competition with Joist. That is a very good point. They are both in the same half and semi-final and half. So. Interesting to see. So let's come on to some other songs from this evening. But guys, of course, if you have any comments or any questions, let's say even about Eesti Laul, Eurovision in general, we'll feel free to answer. Maybe not about Moldova because we haven't heard that yet. But any questions, either on Fiibmanutska, any of the other acts, feel free to put them in the comments, and we will answer them the best as we can. But let's move on to the other members of the super final. I'd say is a good place to start. Let's go on to the runner-up, and he's definitely someone that is going to get a sense of deja vu, because for the second year in a row, Ollie is the runner-up of Eesti Laul, this time with his song "My Friend." Dylan, what was your thoughts on this entry? Because it did end up actually topping the jury vote tonight.
Yep. I'm not surprised. Oli is a great singer. He's also a very good performer. We've seen his staging tonight. I mean, I think he's just running off luck, you know. Last year he was losing against Alika. This year against Westminster. And well, I would tell him just, you know, try third time. You never know. I mean,
well, to answer Sarah O'Callaghan's question, should come back next year. Yes, keep coming back every single year until eventually you win.
No, but please actually try again, because you would be a great entry for Estonia, or entry contestant, and so I think he should keep trying. Yes. Yeah. Tonight was obvious that Westminster would win. I mean, they finished third with the jury.
Third with the jury, yeah. Third with the jury.
Then they got like 60% of the televote. So I mean, that was a landslide. There is nothing you can do against that.
I do feel bad, because it feels like the last couple of years, I know Alika's not quite of the level of Fivminsk, but it feels like he's just been in 2 years where they've had a very popular act, and while the song's also been good to match it, it's like the popularity of an act sort of overrides Ollie in a sense, which I feel bad in that sense, because Ollie was once again Ollie was my favorite last year with Venom. Ollie was my favorite this year. Ironically, both my second places won in the end, so I'm not mad. I'm not that mad, but like I'm gutted for Ollie. I was very happy he won the jury, because it was sort of again, I knew 5 minutes were going to win, so I was like, that's my mini victory. Ollie won the jury. Okay, the juries are correct in this scenario, but they've been correct sometimes. Finland's, they were correct. Hi Finnish fans who hi Finnish fans who complained about my opinions on that all week, but that's I'm sure you're not watching, but that's neither here nor there. With regards to this, always full of energy, always love his vocals, always his songs are so my style of like pop and femic rock. And yeah, again, to Sarah O'Callaghan's point, keep trying every single year. One of these years, there will not be a massively famous act that will automatically win. Just keep trying, Ollie. I want your Eurovision. I'm begging you, please. So let's go to some comments on Ollie. Excuse me. Joseph Benito saying, so sad Ollie didn't win. I am sad as well. But I expected it. Bubble Pirate, Ollie's track last year was much better. I prefer his track last year, but this was also good. For me, it's like going from like a 9.5 out of 10 to a 9. It's like they're both great, but it's just a slight downgrade. Birdmaster saying they're happy with the result, and also that last year's song from Ollie had a much better melody compared to this year. Fair enough. Alika the Regal, Ollie with Estonia is going to be like Malta with Aiden. One of they will both win the same year. How about that? Let's do it the same year. We've also got some breaking news, by the way, from Aiden 1 year will do it. We got some breaking news also from Denmark. Apparently, Sabas, Basim, and Yanis are in the super final. I'm sure we will find out who has won out of those three very soon. I don't think that's too unexpected. A final three, potentially. I know 2 of them I expected. And then just quickly on this one, Joseph asking for my thoughts on Germany, because yeah, for once I had the night off. I didn't do a live last night. You know what? With Germany, and I will touch on this more, and I'm going to plug this now. I will touch on this more on my podcast, the Vox podcast next week, where we will discuss all the entries from this weekend, and actually Belgium and Poland we will be discussing in there, because they're releasing on Monday and Tuesday respectively. With Germany, it is not as bad as people are making it out to be. I think as a song, it's quite good. but this could easily flop, I think, for Germany. It could easily.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, I think it's not. The song is not terrible. I prefer this to much more than the runner-up. Put it that way. But I will say, for Germany, it was a big missed opportunity not sending Reich for me. I think that was. Easily should have won. Easily would have got like potentially even top 15 at Eurovision. yeah, I don't know what happened with the jury in particular. 5th place with the jury, like what are you on about? Come on. For me, that was stupid. But this is not as bad as people are making it out to be. I'm not saying it won't come last, just to clarify, but people are making it out as worst song of the year. I don't think it is. Germany have sent
It's
worse.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not that bad. It's just bland. It's the kind of song you don't remember. It's the kind of song you don't vote for. You don't, stand up and dance when you hear it, but you won't skip it if you hear it on the radio or on the playlist. True, fair enough. But I mean, finishing 11th won't get you any points
No, I agree.
anywhere. So I'm sorry, but
Germany still have this issue where they send songs which are decent but aren't going to get you top 10.
yeah,
To be fair, this is just also my style of music I listen to. Like, it's that rag and bone man, like raspiness in the voice, power. So it is a bit more up my street, but I appreciate for Eurovision and for Eurovision fans, this is not necessarily to everyone's taste. So now we come on to, let's go back to Estonia, because that's the national final that is this evening. Estonia, the final act that completed the top 3 in the super final was, and I apologize, I'm looking down because I'm going to have to try and pronounce the name. It is Nel Ils Vescu with Kate Umbaya. Now this is the only one of the automatic qualifiers that got into the final 5. And to be fair, she did come second in the jury, and I believe, looking at the points remaining, at least top 4 with the televote, or top 5 maybe. It was one. She came relatively high with the televote, so it wasn't a controversial final pick. I think it's safe to say, Dylan, that going into this, a lot of people thought that Ollie and 5 Minutes would definitely be in the super final, and then it will be the final spot will be occupied by someone. In this case, it's Nelly's. Do you feel like she was a worthy participant in that super final?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, her staging was really interesting. I liked it, to be honest. It was a bit different from what we've seen during the evening. And to be honest, she has a good voice. The song is, well, you like it or not, but the voice is on point. The staging was interesting. I liked this kind of smoke everywhere, and I think this could have done very well on a bigger stage, like in MALMÖ, for instance. I'm not saying she would have been a better choice than
Yeah.
this minute, but I mean the staging was good, and I think this is also something that helped her, getting points. And I don't think she robbed anyone's place to be in super final, to be honest.
No, I don't believe so either. There was not anyone that I was like, oh, that should be in there instead. I think for me personally, and this is a theme I think with a lot of the stagings tonight for Eesti Laul, I would have personally, staging wise, like seen a little bit more storytelling with the song,
Mhm.
rather than just her standing and like the smoke, because there was a lot of smoke this evening, I will say, more than pyro. They like their smoke in Eesti Laul. Don't take that the wrong way. Uh, for this song, it's a very typical theatrical ballad, performs very well, good vocals, solid stuff. It very much jury bait, and I can understand why even the televote liked it enough to put it into that big 5. Solid enough stuff. It was never going to win, but happy that she made it to that big 5, the top 3. She's not made it to the big 5. Some more comments here, guys. Remember to put them in if you have any questions on anything. Adam saying Daniel Levy was my runner-up. Hope he comes back to Eesti Laul. Yes, I believe he came 4th with his entry Over the Moon. Very close to making it. Very close. ESC Chris with loving this year so far. All selected songs are trash. Yet no winner material, not even top 10. Look, opinions are opinions, Chris. I would argue there's a few that are like potential winners and top 10s. I could name you at least 3. Put it that way. But you know what? Fair enough. I hope the remaining. How many songs have we got now to do? We've got 22 more songs. Hopefully you love all the other 22 songs that are released. Maybe you'll like the one being released in like 10 minutes. Who knows? Or maybe even 5. I don't know when Denmark's finishing. So going on to the rest of the field, because obviously there was 10 acts this evening. Is there any others that we're not going to go 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th because that's pointless. Is there any others this evening that you want to shout out that you thought were, worthy of a mention in terms of quality, or that you enjoyed?
Annette and her song Serotonin.
Okay.
I think it was nice. I actually, it was my favorite of the evening. The radio version was a bit better. to be fair. But I really liked the vibes of the song, the melody. I think maybe she could have been higher with the televote. I was surprised she got, I think, 6 points. So
Yeah, I
that
think
wasn't.
that so fifth with the televote, I believe.
Yeah, fifth with televote. She was fourth with the juries, and I would have said I would have think she would have done better with the public televote than the juries. But definitely going on my playlists, national final playlist. I liked it, and I think it was worth mentioning that she did something really interesting tonight. It was also slightly different from the other acts we had. So yeah, I liked it very much. Was
Yeah.
also interested in Airworth and the Two Dragons.
Okay.
It's funny because they were like when I was in Estonia 10 years ago, they were really big back then. And I remember that they had a beginning of a career in Western Europe, namely in France, Germany, and Belgium. They were quite popular, and it was, like an old memory coming alive tonight to see them on stage again. And I thought they were interesting as well, but the song wasn't their best. It wasn't really my kind of song.
It does feel it does feel like Eesti Laul has one of those style of songs every year where it's like a slow guitar ballad that creeps
Yeah.
their way into the final, which will never win. um, for me, I appreciate it. She was good. For me, I think the song, the problem I had with it, it was like there was no, I didn't get a hook. There was no,
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
chorus was nice. It had, sound wise, it had ebbs and flows, but I don't. I couldn't sing to the chorus, if that makes sense. There was no catchiness there. It was still solid enough entry. Glad she did relatively well in the final. I think for me, the one I would shout out is the fourth place one, Daniel Levy, Over the Moon. And it's not
Mhm.
because of the song necessarily, because I think the song is slightly weak. It's nice, it's pleasant, but I feel like it doesn't progress high enough. That being said, I thought the staging was one of the best of the evening. I love the atmosphere created. I love the lights, the candles, not candles, but like the lanterns is the word I'm looking
Mhm.
at. And the smoke, of course, is there again. There was smoke everywhere
Yes,
tonight.
yes, come on.
Um, and yeah, just the moon in the background obviously made sense. It was very solid. I actually thought this would get the final spot in the super final. I was more than happy with Nelis, sorry, getting there, but solid
Mhm.
enough entry. Uh, just quickly, because I mean I'm hosting this one, and why not? Is there any that you could sort of point out as like your least favorite of the evening?
Least favorite of the evening? I mean, well, honestly, I don't think that there is one in particular that I really hated or that I thought didn't deserve to be here. No.
Oh, fair enough. I think for me, the one I wasn't massive fan of this evening is actually the one that came in last place, Brother Apollo with Bad Boy. I feel like, and I'm a rock
Okay.
guy as well, so
Yeah.
I should like this. But the song itself, I found the lyrics to be quite generic, and like, oh yeah, cool rock, Bad Boy. Woo. I get the some staging elements sort of make fun of that, but I
Mhm.
don't know. I didn't connect with this song at all. The staging I didn't like. Maybe because I'm not a fan of Let Free. I didn't. I didn't like the end.
Yeah. That's right.
uh, it gave me a bit of flashbacks to that. I didn't like it. It just looked a bit weird and awkward. I found the staging didn't have much energy compared to other rock songs like Ollie, for example. The energy
Yeah.
was way
Yeah.
down. Yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of this making the final through automatic qualifying, and
Okay.
just even uh, even tonight, it was a fine opener, but it was getting drowned out. Probably didn't help they were from Finland either. I can't imagine the Estonian public got behind them after that. But let's go to some couple more comments here, then we'll wrap this up with a final question, I'd say, because other people want other national finals. What to watch other national finals. Bubble Pirate saying favorite entries from Estonia are 2011 and 2015. Do you remember those? Of course, I remember those. I I will say that I don't like 2011, but
Oh,
2015, no.
come
uh,
on.
it's a, it's a Junior Eurovision entry, Dylan.
Oh,
It is.
hey,
It is.
you're about to be cancelled, Harry. Really.
Don't worry
Okay,
though, because
amazing. I mean, the staging was bad, pretty bad, but the song was really great. I love it.
I can't say I enjoy it. 2015 though is my favorite Estonian entry of all time. I love that to pieces. Stig Lasse and Alina Born, fantastic. My winner of 2015 actually. Joseph saying, I feel that with the big five, France and Italy will be top 10. Spain and Germany and possibly UK with the snippet released be bottom 5 again. Okay.
Okay.
I can see that. I would say with the UK, and I said this in a previous live, and I will try and not sound as biased as possible here. The snippet is not a wow. It isn't wow, but I don't think it's meant to be wow. It's meant to be like a first chorus preview. So let's just be patient. Let's be patient, hear the whole song with the staging. Let's wait until we see the whole package with the UK. Because look, I'm not saying it's going to be a winner. I never thought Ollie Alexander was actually going to be a winner, despite what the odds were saying. But let's just be patient. Ollie Alexander won't come with something that is. He's a Eurovision fan. He won't come with something bad at the end of the day. I don't believe that. So let's see what happens. March 1st, actually, when it gets revealed. And also, Ollie Alexander does have quite a decent level of notoriety and fame, which will help him not be bottom 5, I don't feel. He won't come last. I've got no doubts he won't come last. That's what Germany's for.
Honestly, I would be really surprised.
Yeah, he has fans as well. That does mean something amongst Europe. He has Georgian fans as well. For those who've seen, he met up with the Georgian artist while filming the music video for Dizzy. So we've got the Georgian support. Come on, Georgia! They will now give us 0 points, I'm sure, in the televote. But FF quickly asking, is anyone watching Melfest this year? I've been dabbling into it. It's been the solid level of good songs. I feel like the potential winners are coming in the next 2 heats with your Dotters, your Danny Saucedos, your Medinas, and your Marcus and Martinez's. I don't think we've heard the winner yet, but solid enough show. And Bubble Pirate, Ollie Alexander, definitely top 10. I don't think that either. Let's patience either way would be what I am preaching. Patience. And to be fair though, Dylan, you mentioned France top 10. Could you see your country being in the top 10 this year?
I honestly have no idea. Again, the song might be a debate, but you never know. But I mean, honestly, I don't want to be biased, and I have no idea whatsoever about France's result this year. So I'll just see. And,
yeah. And to be fair, though, you are 100% correct with Italy. I'm not going to dispute that whatsoever. So
top 5.
Italy's top 5 guaranteed. Potential winner. So on to the let's go back. Shush. Shush. We're talking about Estonia now, Dylan. Why'd you bring up Italy? So on to the. Of course, yes. Look. I have one. There is one. Everyone has that one song a year that people can't criticize in front of them. Angelina Mango La Noia is that song for me this year. You can't disagree and say it won't win. But basically, onto Estonia again. Few minutes. The entry for this year. We both agreed that we feel this is qualifying for the final, which would be great for Estonia, 3rd year in a row. Where do you see this finishing in the actual final itself? Because I think that's an interesting talking point.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know exactly how it could do with the international juries tonight. It did pretty well, but again, these were like a small portion of juries, you know.
Pinch of salt.
Yeah, pinch of salt only. So I don't think this could be replicated to another extent, to a bigger extent during the final. Also because we will have much more songs competing there. So let's be patient. When it comes to the televote, though, I think it will compete with the Netherlands and probably with Finland. So whoever is the most authentic might get higher support of televote, but honestly, to me, this is on the edge of the top 10, so rather around 11th to 15th place.
Okay, I feel
higher, to be honest.
I could see this sneaking into the top 10. I could. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't do high. It wouldn't be high. No, God no. It would be like. I could see 8th to, and I'm potentially going to push you back a little bit further from 15th. I'm going to say like 17th, 8th to 17th. So it's a decent big range. The reason I say that is similar reasons to you, is that it's the jury televote debate. And what's fascinating about this year is it feels like there's going to be a lot of these quirky, wacky songs. So it's how many of those will cancel each other out in different stages of the contest, whether it be, jury or in televote. What I will say about this one is, out of the quirky songs, this I think could have the most jury appeal out of any of them, because at the end of the day, despite it being quirky, it is modern Estonian just pop music. It's not meant to be out. It's not meant to be out there for the sake of being out there, like I would argue Finland potentially is, or like other entries. That this reflects the current Estonian market. So if you're going off that, I think this could have its supporters in the jury. When it comes to the televote, I feel like, in particular with this one, this has potential to be sort of in the mix with that, the quirkiness of other entries. It could be in the mix. If staged well, this could have the Moldova 2022 effect, I feel. If it's in a good running order position, like the power, the dancing, I've got that feeling. It won't necessarily come second in the televote, but I think a top 5 in the televote, I don't think is completely out of the question. It could sneak in there. So that's why I say like 8th to 17th. So because there's a broad range, but in the final nonetheless. In the final nonetheless.
I think somewhere between first and last, actually. So.
No, that's Slovenia. That's genuine. That's a big range. I've got no clue where that's finishing.
But I would add just one point, is that with the quirky entries, there is always one that is overperforming every year. So you never know. It might be that one indeed, because I agree with you. When it comes to the jury, this will be much more appealing to the juries than Finland, for instance.
Well, it should be anyway. It should be in terms of song quality. But let's go to some of the comments. Adam raises a good point. If Croatia picks Baby Lasagna and Josh has a similar song to 5 minutes, do you feel these funk entries might cancel each other out and do worse than expected? I think some will. I don't think it will.
Obviously, yes, but one will always be able to manage and get the best of it. So yeah. I can't wait for the juries this year. I feel, with a lot of these quirky entries, because you're gonna get your Frances as well, and you're gonna get your typical ballads. And I will say, this is where I'm not saying they'll do well necessarily, but this is where Germany might do a bit better if there's a lot of quirky entries, and Germany's that modern pop that could do well with Western juries. But I digress. I feel we'll see. I will say, though, do not, Croatia, that is not your way of saying don't pick Baby Lasagna. Do pick Baby Lasagna next week, please, and not the other favourite. Please. I might not be on the Croatia live, just to be on the safe side in case they win. It won't be a happy live. It won't be a happy live if they win. Baby Lasagna will be a great live. Be a great live if they win. Now, Bubble Pyro has got his prediction there, or her prediction, sorry, I don't know your gender. Estonia, 8th to 16th. I can see that, absolutely. That overall was our thoughts, though, on Estonia. I believe we'll wrap it up there, because we still have 2 national finals this evening. Well, 3 if you count Iceland's semi-final 1, but two more entries revealing themselves. That assuming Denmark hasn't done it and we just haven't been told, but definitely Lithuania. So very interested to see what they will bring. But for now, we have Estonia's entry. It is 5 minutes and pull up with the song I will pronounce on the podcast. I won't do it again. But I hope you all enjoyed this live. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, and subscribe. It's a Saturday night, Dylan. It's a Saturday night. Follow us on all our social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Make sure the website is your home for all Eurovision news. And of course, in my very biased opinion, go over to the Spotify, listen to the podcasts either on here, over on YouTube, or on Spotify. One of the most recent ones is with my guest here this evening. A couple of weeks ago, we discussed the likes of Ukraine, Norway, Malta, and Spain, I believe was your favorite this year.
You say that like you like Malta, but that's I digress. Anyway,
well, one way to find out, people. You just go and listen to the podcasts.
Yes, maybe not if you're Spanish, but anyone else, listen to that podcast. Anyway, take care, guys, and we will see you guys later.
Bye.